the war
Yes.
and the things that happened, you know, because of it. Like,
So a tumultuous time.
yes, yes. So it was a very strange time, but of course children didn't really understand, except when it came to you had very few chocolate things or anything like that.
Yeah. All the important things.
Yes, yeah. But then when I was with Aunty
Eve.
Aunty Eve, I had you know, she was able to. This was sort of towards the end, you know, not so bad at the time.
No, it's okay.
But I do remember going to one cafe in the big expensive place, you know. You call like Myers or perhaps more like David Jones.
Like Selfridges or something.
Yes, and I remember having this wonderful thing. I can't remember what flavour it was or anything, but it was an egg shaped thing with all these good stuff in it.
Yeah, it did have ice cream in it. Was it like a sundae or?
I don't know whether it was ice cream. I can't remember.
Or jelly or something, but it was something sweet.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
oh, very sweet. Yeah.
Nice.
And the whole thing was set up, you know, very nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's actually a, you know, sort of a like having a cake and so on, you know. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
I can't exactly remember it, the taste, but I can remember the crunch that was on it, you know. So,
Wow.
yeah.
So it might have been toffee or something. Yeah.
No, not toffee, because that was always sticky and, you know, so, no, it was more like,
Biscuit or something.
yeah, something like that, you know, and I was able to put my spoon in the thing, you know, and get it out like that. Yeah.
Nice. And so that would have been in the middle of the war, probably.
I think it might have been towards the end because there wasn't a lot of movement in you know, that was the area that was being bombed.
Yeah,
so,
of course.
You know, so it wasn't sort of a thing to go and do it. But, yeah.
Do you remember being bombed? Do you remember anything that happened when you lived with Aunty Eve around the bombing?
Well, apart from they had the I forget what they called them, but they were sort of like a big barge. No, like a big thing that you. Oh.
A shelter, do you think?
Yeah,
Like
but this is inside, you see.
Oh, like
and
a table.
It's under the table, and it's all reinforced around. And that's what she had there. And I spent a couple of, not very often, but yeah, spent time, being curled up in that. It's very comfortable.
Mm.
And she always bought something nice from being a big fat woman, she really enjoyed doing that,
and you always love food, so I'm sure it was a good enticement.
Right.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice? Yeah, so sometimes you had to spend the night there, or just a few hours?
I think it was only a matter of hours because we were very close to the what do you call it?
The harbour.
Well, I was thinking more of the actual place that was just up the road. It was
Portsmouth, or
no, it's South Sea.
Oh.
So it's it's the marine base.
Oh, of course.
And so that got a bit of a pelting down at times. And what else? But they didn't seem to do a great deal of harm to the surrounding bit because there was the lake. And the lake stayed, pretty well the same as it was, but it had just trying to think. I think it might have been. Itchy. Might have been. Rolled up nasty stuff.
Oh, barbed wire.
Barbed wire. Around the lake. And so that was sort of out of commission for until after, well and truly after the and I do remember going there when I was about 5 or something, or 6. And
when you were 6, that would have been during the war. That would have been 1943. So might have been a bit after that. Might have been when you were 8 or 9, which would have been after the war. Because you're born in 39, so you're 7 when the war finishes. Yeah.
Well, they must have had that stuff around a lot, all over the place. They did all up the street too, not street, but the back going away from there was all covered in this stuff, And,
was that scary to see it, or did it make you feel assured, safe?
I don't think I thought much of it at all.
Oh, yeah.
I was a bit too young to care.
Yeah.
Or something, and I wasn't frightened of bombs dropping and everything, like some people can be, and I don't think it frightened me, but that was also, Aunty Eve putting down carpet and fiddle around in this box, and she'd bring the she had a couple of music thing.
Oh, she brought the gramophone over.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
nice.
and also the radio.
Radio, yeah.
And you know, so it was a bit of a fun thing for me.
Yeah, sure. It's like a little fort. Yeah.
And she was happy too because I think most of the time, I'm not sure how often, but most of the time Uncle Arthur would come and be there with us, you know. And but he would have been busy as well afterwards, you know, because all the, you know, there's Marines, and then there's the people who look after the Marines. You know.
He was that, wasn't he? He was one of the people who looked after the Marines.
Yeah. He was actually on the barracks.
Right.
You know, sort of face out to the street. And then the street went like that, and then it went down like that, and that's where we were.
Ah, so pretty close. Yeah.
So it was very close, yeah.
Which is both scary, but I suppose handy for him as well. Yeah. In terms of being able to get home.
I don't suppose he had any choice.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Ah. Yeah. And so, do you remember, towards the end of the war, you ended up going back and living back with your mum? Yeah. And do you remember what Portchester looked like at that stage, back home?
Well, the street was, you know, sort of potholed and everything, but it had been not finished, you know. The whole thing was obviously a place, you know, where it wasn't important.
Yeah.
You know, to do that. They didn't have enough time to be worrying about things like that.
Could you get down to the castle, or was that out of bounds during the war?
No, I'm not sure about if there were times when it was. No, I don't think so. I think it was a case of you know, maybe one or two things fell there, but nothing much.
Yeah, and maybe the front part where the water is, that might have had that same, the barbed wire or whatever.
Oh yeah, well that was of course all around, right. You know, with a big wall as well, you know.
Yeah.
And that was on the other side.
Yeah.
And I don't think we were. I don't think they opened that up until well into the after.
Oh, of course, I've only ever known it as that being one of the entrances, but yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So they did, you know, they had it like that, and that's my other memories I have, you know, like we had the quite a heavy snow, quite a heavy snow, and just outside of things was this sort of sloping down to the water, and so we did a bit of tobogganing.
Oh,
sort
wow.
of.
Yeah.
But I was only little, and I didn't like it because I was getting cold feet.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
What do you call it? You know,
chilblains.
Chilblains.
Yeah.
They're terrible things. That. Bloody awful. Have you ever had them?
I've had very cold feet, but of course I've also had better socks and shoes than you ever had.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's what stops it. Yeah.
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 Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Awful. Scary, actually. Yeah. Yeah, and it must have been a big thing then too. You know, whenever you had very cold winters.
But you know, so outside of the. You've been there, haven't you?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Many times. Yeah.
Right. So outside the big gates to the castle and yeah, all that. It's a sloping part that went down
yes,
like
of course.
that.
Yeah. I know
And,
it well.
So that was where we.
Oh, that's where it was, and that makes sense because snow would have stayed on there as well. So yeah.
But I don't think we had an awful lot of snow. I mean, because being near the sea and everything, you know, it broke up easily. So
I think you'd said that there was one year in particular and it was a year when you were a little bit older, so you were 7 or 8 or something like that, where you recalled it well, but that Uncle Terry had actually recalled it better and had said it was the only really, really cold year and it was, you know, terrible snow. And when we were there in 2010 and we had the terrible snow, you remarked on that as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's right. But, yeah, I mean, that's just typical of being near water and all that, you know.
Yeah, it's not normally that cold. Yeah.
So that... but that was fun because, no, it wasn't fun for me. I'll have to tell the truth. I was frightened and I wouldn't go on the slippery thing, you know. So I watched them doing it. I was only little.
Remember when we were in Philadelphia in 2013 and we went over to see the Dickens statue and we saw those people going down the pretty little slope, but, you know, people falling off, going off to the side as they went down, and we were laughing at them because we could see that it did look like a amazing picture. You know?
Because that's bigger. I'm talking about really small area.
Yes,
You know, just on the other side of the road.
Yeah.
And, it was interesting. Yeah. Is that all right?
Yeah, that was good. Thanks, Mark.